of EPX Studio for this academic year. So EPX Studio, or Epic Studios, we commonly say for shorthand. We essentially develop video games and animations as students. We come together, students typically coagulate into teams of about 3 to 8 people, anywhere in there, and then they work on individual group projects. Those can be small video games, large-scale video games, animations, some board games. Basically, we try and focus on the intersection of several different types of medias and technologies.
I sat down with Associate Professor Christopher Gates from the University of Iowa to discuss the intersection between academic study and video games.
The tradition that I come from specializes in textual analysis, like close formal analysis of like the cinematic image. And my interest in video game studies was sort of a splinter off of that tradition. But the reason that I reached out to and started incorporating different ways of thinking about the game outside of the kind of paradigm of film studies, strictly speaking, is because I just didn't think you could export their theories of the image to the video game.
Yet video game scholars still face difficulties asserting their legitimacy.
The biggest thing is definitely perception of video games. If you go and you ask professors, I'd wager a bet that about 9 out of 10 do not see video games as an academic study. So the biggest thing that gets in the way of really being able to exploit video games in an academic setting is the perception of video games, is the social perception of video games.
One of the big challenges, at least as I saw it, was that games as a medium are still striving for cultural legitimacy, and so a lot of the work that's been done on gaming is almost sort of apologizing for it. So there's this weird sort of bait and switch that happens where many scholars of games will start out talking about the size of the box office, that games rival Hollywood in terms of revenues, and then they'll immediately turn around and not talk about a commercial game.
Despite these difficulties of legitimacy, video game scholarship on college campuses and across the United States has increased, and organizations like EPX are ever growing.